Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So I don't know if I've done a reading for you before. Good old Holly, gotta love her. So I'd like to explain real quick kind of how this works. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it, not my owl, pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. So I try to describe the picture the best that I can. They never waste a message. There is always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind, because you'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, oh, I know what she's talking about. So this is not an exact science. Sometimes you have to stretch it outside the box a little bit. We communicate the best way we can. Keep hearing her say, I love you, I love you, I love you. So, I forgot the rest of my little spiel. Anyway, I'm in my camper, so kind of out of my she shed at home, out of my element, but it's peaceful out here. And I still need to whoop, whoop, whoop. So we're going to talk. We're going to talk to your mom. I keep hearing, I love you, love you, love you. Okay, she's showing, oh, I hope nobody comes to interrupt me. She's showing, it's like you throw yourself on the floor and you're beating the floor. You've got your head down on the floor and you're just totally devastated, mad as hell, upset. I don't know if this was about her passing. She's not saying what it's about. I keep hearing something, sorry. There's nobody out here except for me and the caretaker. So the campground should be quiet. It's weird. Anyway, showing you on the floor, beating the floor, screaming. Why, God? I hate you, God. Why? So this could be about when you left. So even if you didn't physically throw yourself on the floor and beat on the floor, or if you did, sometimes she might just be showing your utter frustration and being mad at God, and or whatever you want to call him. If the word God bothers you, I tell people, I don't care if you call it George. There's a higher power up there. Name it whatever you want. Now somebody is here or something. Hang on. Just some ladies driving around. So either she's showing how frustrated you were and how you were upset, and I'm just going to assume it was her leaving. So she wants you to know that she knows that, she saw that. She's trying to validate herself. And I don't know that if you've had a reading before, but I promise you 1,000%, they can hear you, they can see you. Talk to her all you want to. Yell at her all you want to. Be pissed at her. She can take it. She says it's okay. She's saying she found her grandma, and they have their arms around each other. And it's like they almost feel like sisters. And I know her grandma, it's quite an age difference, but they are a lot alike, kind of like two peas in a pod. So whichever grandma that was. And I always tell people they feel like a grandmother. The little lady next door can feel more like your grandmother than your real blood grandmother clear across the country that you talk to once a year at Christmas. So this grandmother feels like a sister to her. Partners in crime. I know that your mom is very excited to hook up with her again. I never heard this before. She says the weather is always nice up here. It's always beautiful up here. Well, that's cool. It is what you make of it, but so is it down here. It is what you make of it. You create your world up there and down here. Choices. Choices. She's talking about choices. So you actually do create your world down here. You think it just happens. It's just there, but she wants you to know that you choose whether to buy a blue house or pink house. You choose whether to buy a white car or a black car. You choose whether you're going to live on this street or that street. And just all those choices that you make create your world. They are things that you actually manifest. She's showing you always looking over your shoulder, always looking backwards, and saying, what if? What if? So whatever is behind you that you have this big what if about, what if you done this, or what if you said that, or what if you done this quicker? She's telling you to stop looking backwards. You're not going that way. And now she's showing you almost turning around backwards, like wanting to go back that way. She wants you to turn around frontwards, stop looking backwards. That's gone. She says use that as a test, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but it's not for me to make sense of. They're smarter than I am. Use that as a test. So I personally would put it, use that as a learning experience. Whatever's back there, turn around and go forward. Quit letting it drag you to try to turn around. She says baby steps if you have to. Forward. Not backwards, forward. And she says once you do that and you kind of just go, kind of poo-poo what's behind you, it's like your path looks straight. Like you're going to go straight down, slowly, straight down, a very straight path that's not going to have a whole lot of hiccups in it, at least for a while, unless, of course, you have free will choice. I throw so many bumps and curves in my path because I have free will choice, and there's nothing they can do about your free will choice. Oh, almost nothing. And my guides sit up there and they go, oh, Rhonda, why are you doing that again? I call it the scenic route. Instead of my path going straight, my trailer's growling at me. my path will go whoop over this way or whoop over this way. And then I get back on my path and then I do it again. I take off on some little tangent down the scenic route. But she's showing yours pretty darn straight. Am I shaking my camper? I don't know what's going on. It's like the pump made a grinding noise and then I felt my camper actually wiggle. I didn't think I moved enough. It's pretty solid. So listen for something to make a growling, not a growling. My camper's talking. There's nobody here. Oh, my refrigerator always makes noise. Anything that happens to me during a reading is meant for you. So the pump grinding, there's no reason for it to grind. It's like a grinding. I don't want to say growling because you'll think it's like some dog growling that's going to scare the hell out of you. It's like a kind of a grinding. Anyway, it's a motor grinding. It's a pump grinding is what it is. It makes it I can't imitate it. Sorry. So listen for that noise. I always ask them to come up with something unique. And everybody gets, cardinals and butterflies and stuff. It's something unique for each person that I read for. So that would be unique. That's a new one. We won't count the refrigerator making its noise. Boom, because it does that all the time. They won't give me a new one, brand new camper, but they won't give me a new one until this one craps out. Anyway, enough babbling. She's saying there's somebody that you feel like you absolutely hate. And she says hate is a very strong word. There's somebody you just really, really detest. And she wants you to soften that a little bit. Now my camper's creaking and popping. And I'm just sitting here. So she wants you to soften that hate just a little bit. Because she said it's hurting you more than it's hurting them. It's putting some wear and tear on you to hold on to that much hate. And you would feel better if you could, maybe you can't totally forgive this person, but maybe you could, like, half-assed to where you let go of it enough where it doesn't have such a hold on you. Where you can relax, where you can be at peace with it. And she says, to hell with them. You don't ever have to talk to them again. You don't have to be around them. You don't have to put up with their shit. But if you can be at peace with them having their problem, whatever it is, and not make it your problem, I almost feel like it's a male. Then let them have their problem because it's not yours. So don't hold on to it. Try to, what I do when my old man's being an ass, and I don't know if you know anything about protection bubbles or anything like that. You can Google that on YouTube, protection bubble, and it protects your energy. But anyway, I'll imagine like I put this big ass wall between us. Keeps his energy over there, keeps mine over here. When he's angry, he can't push that off on me. So if you need to put that wall up between you and somebody, and I hate putting walls up because it's just, sometimes you just have to protect yourself from other people's crap. She says you don't have to not associate with them ever again. Just, she's making a big deal out of this. Just be at peace with yourself and how you feel and the love you have inside of you for yourself and everybody else. And just, she says, kind of like drop the ball. Just drop the ball and let that go. Doesn't have to totally disappear out of your life, but just drop the ball and let that go. And if you need to physically get a ball and go, okay, I'm done with this. I'm at peace with myself about the whole situation, and just drop the ball physically. Or you could even write their name on it, drop the ball. It's all about letting go of that energy. Well, we know it's not Holly because she's a hoot. Gotta love her. She says, basically, you're a good person. You're a good person. You have a good heart. You need to let that shine a little bit more. And I love you very much. I am watching down over you. But she says, actually, it's not like watching down. It's actually like walking with you. And they are closer than you know. They're not like a zillion miles up there. They're here. And the more things go on, seems like the closer it all gets. She's talking about the veil being thinner, where like she pulls a curtain and she goes, peekaboo, I'm right here. And then she lets go of it and then she pulls it up again, peekaboo, I'm right here. So also watch for your curtains to move, like when they shouldn't be moving. And even if you see a little kid like hiding behind some kind of curtain or piece of clothing in a store or whatever and peeking out going peekaboo, that'll still be a sign from your mom. Validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her, and ask her to bring you more signs. I don't know what she's trying to do. She's kind of like, her feet are kind of, she's not dancing. She's almost dancing, like stepping in place really fast. I don't know what she's trying to show me. She says, look at my feet. Okay. Something about her feet. But they're moving really, really fast. Did she have trouble moving her feet right before she left? It's almost like somebody running in place, but like at high speed, but staying in the same place, not going anywhere. I don't know what she's trying to. She's pointing at her feet again, her shoes. Maybe it's her shoes, her tennis shoes. She's got tennis shoes on. If that's unusual for her, maybe she wore them all the time. She goes, no, right there, Rhonda. I don't know what she's pointing at. She keeps pointing. Now she's making. Did she wear a certain type of tennis shoe? It almost looks like the Nike swoosh on the side of it, but it only looks like part of the swoosh. Like instead of the check mark kind of thing that Nike has, just this part. It's kind of like a blue or a green. The shoes are white. Does she have a pair like this? Did you just buy a pair like this? She's not explaining why she's adamant about me seeing this. Anyway. Okay, she's going to leave. Now she's skipping. So maybe she had a problem with movement before she left because now she's wanting to show you how free she is, how she can move, how she's not, whatever her ailment was or whatever happened before she left, she doesn't have that anymore because we don't have this old heavy body anymore. And I call this our vehicle, our car, to get around, for our soul, our spirit, to be inside of and roam around on earth. This is our vehicle. When we go back there with our spirit, our soul, we don't need this heavy vehicle anymore. Good Lord knows mine's getting broke down. Be good to it. It has to last you forever. With that, she's leaving. She's waving over her shoulder. I love you, I love you, I love you. And blowing kisses and little hearts are coming back to you. She's still kind of bouncing along. Okay. Much love to you, my dear Holly. Thank you for being patient. Got more hiccups that I haven't even told you about. Anyway, much love to you. Know that she can hear you. Talk to her all you want to. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Later.